Hi, my name is Danielle Cohen and I'm an immigration and human rights lawyer with experience of over 20 years. I have established my firm 18 years ago, Danielle Cohen Immigration Solicitors, and we are based in Camden, London. It gives me great pleasure to present this video because that means that you have finished the journey and you're about to obtain your indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which means you are going to be settled. You will not be required to leave the UK ever, unless, of course, you have been absent for more than 2 years continuously or committed a criminal offense which resulted in deportation. But otherwise, this is the end of a very long journey, and I'm so happy for you that you're watching this video because that means you did it. Right, there are several ways of making an application for indefinite leave to remain, but there are also various ways in which you can qualify. Let's go at one type at a time. All applications have something in common. You can apply 28 days before your leave expires, so you don't have to wait for the last minute. The first category we would like to discuss is the EU nationals. Those EU nationals who have lived in the UK pre-Brexit before December 2020 for 5 years and can demonstrate continuous residence in the UK for 5 years can apply under the EU settlement scheme for settled status. The second category that can apply for settlement are those who are in the UK as a spouse, or as an unmarried partner, or as a parent, and have finished 5 years under Appendix FM. You might be familiar with the term Appendix FM, and if not, please look at one of my previous videos on Appendix FM and the spouse visa. So, as a spouse, you would have received 2.5 years leave to remain, and then you extended it for another 2.5 years. And so, at the end of the 5 years, if you meet the financial requirements, the requirement of cohabitation, the requirement for English language test and life in the UK test, you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. The next category of people who can apply for indefinite leave to remain who are refugees, who have lived in the UK for 5 years as a refugee. The Home Office states that they will carry an active review of the circumstances of the individual and of the country since the grant of the refugee status. This application is free of charge and the refugee does not have to pass an English test or a Life in the UK test. The next category of those who can apply for indefinite leave to remain are those spouses who have been victim of domestic violence or bereaved. This is a category of its own, which is beyond the scope of this video. The next category of those who can apply for settling in the UK are those under the tier point-based system. Those who have been investors for 5 years or Tier 2 skilled workers for 5 years. Those individuals can apply as long as they can demonstrate continuous lawful residence in the UK, they meet the financial requirements, the salary requirement, and have not been absent from the UK for more than 6 months in every calendar year. The next category, which is a category I like most of all, is the 10 years lawful residence. Occasionally, we come across individuals who have come to the UK sometimes at a young age to be students in the UK and have spent some of the years as a student and some of the years as a graduate, spouse, or an employee under the tier point-based system. Those cumulatively under the long residence rule can apply for indefinite leave to remain. This category has particular requirements that they have to fulfill in order to qualify. The requirements for those under the 10 years route are that they have not been absent from the UK for more than 18 months in the 10 years and not more than 6 months in every calendar year. The reason it is exciting and difficult is because those who came to the UK at a young age might have spent a prolonged period of time during the holiday term, during the holidays when the school is closed, with their parents abroad. And then at the end of the 10 years might find that their periods of absence exceed the 18 months. This is where we specialize in asking the Home Office for discretion to be exercised or of course if there are compelling and compassionate circumstances. At the end of the 10 years lawful and continuous residence, you will apply for indefinite leave to remain, again satisfying the English and the Life in the UK test. The final category are those with UK ancestry. They will have to demonstrate that they are Commonwealth citizens, that they have lived in the UK under the ancestry criteria for 5 years, they have worked, and they will take the Life in the UK test and the English test. Unless, of course, they are majority English-speaking nation. So, now that you have celebrated the fact that you can apply for settled status, please call us to see if we can help you, if we can advise you about the next step, which is becoming British. And if you have any question, we offer free Zoom consultation, no obligation. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.